Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Yeah Gaming. How y'all doing on this fine Monday morning?
Do people even blow bubbles with their gum anymore? I'm chewing on Hubba Bubba MAX. I got 4 pieces in my mouth right now.
Hope y'all are doing nice and well. It's a pretty bad snowstorm outside for me right now, I'm not gonna lie. There might be some crazy traffic out, but hey, I'm not planning on going anywhere today, so I don't care, it's whatever. Alright, a little bit of a different video today. Today, we will be ranking every single flavor of Hubba Bubba MAX, which is a bubble gum. If you're not sure what that is, it's a bubble gum. Now, you may be looking at this and saying, whoa. Where's, like, the Crush Hubba Bubba? Or where's, like, this Hubba Bubba? Or that? No. Let's ground rules. Hubba Bubba MAX is a specific category of Hubba Bubba gum where there is obviously the Hubba Bubba gum is like in a square or like a little rectangle or whatever, but then there is a second square or rectangle inside of that square or rectangle. So there's the 2 flavors, right? That's kind of like the key to the Hubba Bubba. It's the 2 flavors coming together, and they got the 1 flavor on the outside and the 1 flavor on the inside. All right, the Crush is just a single flavor. There's no double flavor action. That's what separates the boys from the men, all right? That's what separates Hubba Bubba Original to Hubba Bubba MAX, okay? We're specifically talking about Hubba Bubba MAX today. I've scoured the internet for what I believe is every single flavor of this gum, which is not easy. This took like an hour, I swear to God, to find all these flavors. I think because some of these are regional, some of these haven't been in production for probably like over a decade, and outside of the main 3 flavors, which we'll go over first, these were a fucking pain in the ass to find, so here's the tier list. Here's how we have it set up. We have the goated tier for the best Hubba Bubba MAX flavors. The fire tier for the good ones, right? These are good. The I tier for like, it's not bad, but I mean, like, I'm not putting it in fire. The meh tier for like, okay, you could be a little better. Like, you're not amazing. And then hell tier for the worst of the worst. The absolute worst Hubba Bubba MAX flavors out there. So, without further delay, I guess we should get into this. Starting off with the original, the OG, Outrageous Original. Now, Outrageous Original, it's a classic, right? Like I said, Hubba Bubba MAX is focused on that double flavor action, except Outrageous Original doesn't really have a lot of that double flavor action. I think it's just kind of 2 different varying flavors of bubblegum coming together, which, I mean, in your mouth kind of just tastes like bubblegum. Now, when it comes to, like, blowing bubbles, I mean, it's Hubba Bubba. It's, like, king of that, right? Like, you're gonna be able to blow some big-ass bubbles with all of these flavors, no question. So, I mean, on that scale, everyone gets an S tier, but, I mean, we're not ranking them by, how big the bubbles are, because everyone would be in goated tier. We're ranking them by how good they are. And compared to the other flavors on display here, and compared to, what this is, I just, it's the original, so it can't go any lower than I. Like, it's not meh, it's not hell. It's the original. It's a classic bubblegum flavor. But I mean, it could be like a tad better, I guess. So, I think I'm comfortable putting Hubba Bubba MAX Outrageous Original at a solid I tier. I feel like it's a good baseline. Anything worse than it definitely deserves meh, and anything better than it absolutely deserves fire and goated. Because if you're better than the original, then you're definitely good. Like,
I'm chewing on Hubba Bubba MAX. I got 4 pieces in my mouth right now.
Okay, next up is Sour Blue Raspberry. Sounds scrumptious already. Sour Blue Raspberry's got that kick to it, When it comes to the double flavor action, I'm pretty sure one of the layers is just the blue raspberry and the other is like a sour blue raspberry. So it's like you get that kick of like the sweetness and then it hits you with the sour. So clearly a high tier flavor. The packaging on this one just pops so well. If you just look at all the ones on the bottom here, out of any of them, I feel like this one definitely pops the most out of all of them. And it's so saturated, so juicy looking. Like, you already know when you're chewing this. Like, it's gonna be a little painful for like 2 seconds because of the sourness. But you already know you can spit some mean bubbles with this. It's gonna taste fucking delicious. Like, I can't think of any other flavor on here that screams that right off the bat. Now, is it goated or fire tier, though? Because it's definitely not meh, alright, or hell. I'm not sure. I think because it is kind of lacking on that double flavor action that Hubba Bubba MAX, you know, focuses on and specializes on. Because it's, at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure it's just sour blue raspberry and blue raspberry, which, I mean, like, it's kind of the same situation with the outrageous original, where it's the same flavor twice, just slightly different, which doesn't, you know, take advantage of the Hubba Bubba MAX format to the fullest potential, as we'll see with some of the ones coming up here. But overall, you know, you can't put this any lower than fire. So we'll be putting sour blue raspberry and fire, and I think that's a fair tier for this Hubba Bubba MAX. Next up is what I believe will be our first goated tier with strawberry watermelon. Now this is a Hubba Bubba MAX flavor I can get behind. Not only does it take the aspect, the concept of Hubba Bubba MAX to its natural peak conclusion with two wildly different flavors, but it's two wildly different flavors that are often associated with each other in other drinks and snacks. Strawberry and watermelon go together so well. I'm not really a fan of watermelon stuff on its own. I think it's quite lacking as a candy flavor. However, when you pair it with strawberry, the flavor profiles truly come together in an out-of-this-world way that makes it one of the most goated flavor profiles on this entire planet. And that's not even up for debate. I mean, visually, this is such an appealing looking Hubba Bubba MAX, because unlike the other two where it was just color and then darker color, this is two wildly different colors, red and green, but they come together to make this Christmassy, beautiful looking Hubba Bubba MAX, and you already know, you could throw 4 of these in your mouth at once, chew them, and make the biggest bubble imaginable.
Do people even blow bubbles with their gum anymore? I'm chewing on Hubba Bubba MAX. I got 4 pieces in my mouth right now.
And I can't think of any other flavor on this list, at least up until now, that I can say that about. So, without any hesitation, without any question, strawberry watermelon gets the easy placement of goated tier. Alright, so that was the main 3 flavors out of the way. If you go to a convenience store or some kind of store like a grocery store now, you will likely find these 3 flavors and nothing else for Hubba Bubba MAX. We're officially getting into either discontinued territory or regional territory. So these are like not in Canada, not in the States, like other parts of the world. I don't know exactly. I know some of these are definitely discontinued, but some of them might be still popular in other parts of the world. I'm not really sure. Alright, so our first of these is Sour Double Berry. Now, Sour Double Berry is an interesting one because it pisses me the fuck off. Because as far as I can tell, this is the exact same thing as Sour Blue Raspberry, just slightly more visually appealing. And now you might think, oh, so it deserves goated tier because it's the same idea with a better visual concept. And if you're wondering how I came to that conclusion, the packaging literally shows a blue raspberry and a normal raspberry, which if you don't know, blue raspberries aren't fucking real. They taste the exact same as normal raspberries. It's not like this is like a non-sour version of the same flavor. No, they're both sour. There's no double berry here. It's the same berry twice with fucking food dye in one of them. You know, this feels like a scam, a sham. I can't believe they tried to do this. If you're gonna do this, at least make it the non-sour version, so it has a purpose in the market of Hubba Bubba MAX. But clearly, this does not have a purpose in the market of Hubba Bubba MAX. Like, you can't tell me otherwise. Does it look better than the fire tier sour blue raspberry? Maybe it does. That's arguable, because obviously sour blue raspberry is a classic look and a classic flavor. This is a very, like, alien flavor and look. Like, it's very out there. The very like neon highlighter reds and blues going on. Like it looks very intoxicating almost. Like I don't know. It might be too much. I think just because I'm mad about it lying about what the flavor is, because it's not double berry, it's single berry food dye. It's going in only. You know what? It has to go meh. It has to go meh. I can't disrespect Outrageous Original like that. Outrageous Original worked so hard to be in just the I tier, and this thing is a fucking sham. It is a wolf in sheep's clothing, dude. I can't support it. I can't put it any higher than meh tier.
Do people even blow bubbles? Do people even blow Hubba Bubba MAX?
All right, next up we have Island Punch. Now I can already tell. Visually, this looks great. I think this is a very visually pleasing flavor. You get the nice ocean blues and ocean greens. It does give that tropical sense, even though the colors don't necessarily reflect what fruits are included in this medley of flavors or whatever. Tropical Punch can come in blues and reds sometimes. I think it's more fitting when it comes in red. However, as we'll see later, a lot of this tier list is dominated by flavors with red as a part of it, which maybe take a step back on that and, I understand why they decided to make it blue. There's not a lot of blues on here, so a nice blue and green does work. However, I can already tell this flavor is ass. I'm sorry. Fruit punch, tropical punch, all that stuff, it's so hard to get right. And I feel like anytime I've had something fruit or tropical punch flavored, there's always like a coin flip 50-50 chance it's going to be garbage. And I'm sorry, I don't have enough faith in this Hubba Bubba MAX flavor to give it the benefit of the doubt here, specifically because have you ever seen this before? Because I've never seen this before. This shit has definitely been discontinued for like a fucking decade, and if it got discontinued, it probably wasn't that good, it probably wasn't that popular, and it's a coin flip if it's going in like Ite or Hell, and if I do that coin flip right now, my gut is telling me this is the Hell flavor. Of all of them, this is probably it, which does hurt me, because visually this one does look very good. I just don't trust the flavor profile on this one. I think it's a little too much. It's a little too risky. Putting a bunch of flavors in one gum is always a lot. For juice it's one thing, but for a gum it's a science, right? It's a lot to take into consideration. And I don't have faith that this Hubba Bubba MAX flavor is the one that isn't going to be in Hell. Like, this is definitely the Hell flavor out of any of them on the list so far.
Hubba Bubba MAX. Hubba Bubba MAX. Hubba Bubba MAX.
Next up, we have Sweet and Sassy Cherry. Now, this one already sounds fucking delicious. My mouth is watering just thinking about this one. I love cherry flavored, like, Kool-Aid and shit like that, and this just looks like a gum version of that, essentially. Obviously, we have the two flavor profiles here. For this one, it is the sweet and then the sassy cherry. Now, I'm not sure what the sassy means. Maybe it's another way of saying like a sour, like it's got a kick to it. But obviously, that's the outside flavor and the inside flavor is two different kinds of cherry. Now, you already know I'm not the hugest fan of when they do that because it takes away from the concept of Hubba Bubba MAX as like a thing. However, I can look past it for this one because I already know this one is going to be fire. It's just going to be fire. Like, I can look at it, it's very pleasing to look at. It's got this nice maroon packaging. The actual gum itself also looks like scrumptious as hell. Like, I can't be disrespecting this one. I already have to go with my gut and say this is easily fire. And you can't tell me that these two next to each other don't look literally perfect. Like, this tier list is like shaping up to be something magnificent. I'm just gonna be straight up. It just is. Now going from one cherry flavor to the next, we have cherry lemonade, a very interesting combination of flavors that I've definitely seen before in a couple places, but I'm sorry, this sounds really gross. I feel like the one time I've had a cherry lemonade flavored thing, I didn't like it that much, and I feel like the lemon in this situation just kind of overpowers the flavor profile in a way that isn't super ideal. I don't think it's hell tier, because one, obviously I said that the tropical one was visually pleasing. This one is also pretty visually pleasing. I like that nice sharp yellow with the red in the middle. It looks cool. And flavor profile wise, I don't have too much faith in this one. However, I have slightly more faith in the tropical punch. There's less flavors to mess up here, which is obviously, a big deal when you're talking about a gum. There's less flavors to mess up here. I just don't think these two flavors go together that well, and that might be controversial. Right? We might have some huge cherry lemonade flavors in the comments, but overall, I don't think I'm gonna give this one anything higher than a meh tier. I don't have too much faith in it, which is, maybe that's on me, but I gotta go with my gut here. It's meh tier.
Do people even blow bubbles?
Next up, we have Grape Berry, which is another raspberry flavored thing, except it's, the flavor profile here is majority grape. Now, I've actually never had a grape and raspberry flavored thing in my life, This genuinely does sound disgusting, though. Grape gum is already kind of gross on its own. Mix in raspberry on that, like, in my mind, I can't see these two flavors even meshing in any way. And also, this being the only option for raspberry that isn't sour is deranged, I think. Mixing it with grape as your only option. This one just sounds flat out gross, disgusting. Yeah, no, this is easily healthier. I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Alright, we're coming down to the wire here. The final two flavors. Next up, we have Hubba Bubba MAX mystery flavor. So obviously it's a mystery flavor. I can't really judge it. So what I'm going to do here instead is I looked up on eBay how much it costs. So I'm going to actually open my phone here. I have a screenshot of how much it costs on eBay. So give me 1 second. Let me open up my phone. Here we go. Right, so it says 1 box Hubba Bubba MAX mystery flavor discontinued. So you're getting a whole box, all right? And it sells for $359 on eBay. USD. I'm in Canada, that's like 400 something dollars. This is going in hell tier for being too fucking expensive, and I'm never gonna know what this flavor is. Fuck you, mystery flavor. I don't care. You suck. Your packaging is very good, though, so whatever. Anyway, moving on.
I got 4 peaches in my mouth right now.
So, we've gone through every single flavor of Hubba Bubba MAX, except for one. Now, this isn't actually a flavor, but a alteration of the original, the outrageous original from the beginning. This is the outrageous original Hubba Bubba MAX Monsters vs. Aliens sweepstake wrapping for it. And I just wanted to put this one on the list because I think this is goated. Like, I think Monsters vs. Aliens is like one of the most underappreciated DreamWorks movies of all time. And just seeing my boy Bob on the wrapping for that just made me really happy. And because of that, it's an easy goated tier. I mean, it's the same flavor, but I mean, it's got Bob on it. It's a, you know, you got a Monsters vs. Aliens sweepstake. It's nostalgic. It's goated. And I'm comfortable putting it in that goated tier. Alright, that's pretty much that. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Hubba Bubba MAX tier list. I'm pretty happy with the outcome. I'm going to link it in the description if you want to give it a go. Maybe you don't agree with my takes here. That's fine. We all have different Hubba Bubba MAX opinions. And you know what? That makes us human. That makes us whole. And yeah, you know, give it a go. If you want to email me your tier list, you can do it. I'm not going to put the email on screen because I'm lazy, but you can find it in other videos, I'm sure. But yeah, that's pretty much that. Thank you all so much for watching. I've been Yeah Gaming, and keep on chewing Hubba Bubba MAX. Thanks, everybody.
Do people even blow bubbles?